Okay, welcome to my first large-scale composting experiment. So the other day we got a full truckload, which is about 20 to 24 cubic yards of aged manure. I say aged because it's not fresh. I'm actually standing really close to it right now and it does not smell, but it's obviously still manure and it's not composted. And we looked at Facebook Marketplace and somebody was selling, or not selling, they were giving away a bunch of spoiled hay. Now it's spoiled because it's dried out and the animals can't eat it anymore. But what you can do with it is you can use it for mulch, or in our case, we're going to use it for brown for the composting. So we got about 20 bales on the trailer, and then there were some bales that the twine had broken off, and so it's just loose, and that's sitting in the back of the truck bed right now. So what I'm doing is I'm creating about a 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot pile, and then I am going to water it like this in between each section. But I did a thing of hay down there. Now I'm doing the manure, and so I'm just going to keep going up and up and up. And so what I'm going to do, actually I'll get the thing out. This needs to be squished over a little bit to the right over here. And I'm going to try to keep it as square as possible and take it up to about 4 feet. Then I'm wetting it, as you can see here, to get it nice and moist. And then we're going to let it sit. And then after it reaches 130 degrees or so, then let it sit for 3 days and then turn it. And so I'll take the tractor and I'll take this pile, move it over to here, and then start a new one here, and I'll go down the line all the way up to about where those pallets are, and then hopefully by the time it gets up there it'll be compost, and then we'll have a nice big compost pile to put on the garden after the garlic gets done and after the regular garden stuff is done for this year. So this is what I'm going to be doing. So let me finish watering this, let me get the tractor up, and then let me get all the layers in. Maybe. If I can actually shut this off. Okay, first pile is done. I think to the top here is about 4 feet. Obviously it's not 4 feet wide at the top. Looks like more, it's about 30 by 30, so it'll just have to do. Andrea will probably complain, but I really don't care at this point. So that's pile number 1. I used about, I'd say about half of the loose hay that was in the bed of the truck, but that was not compressed. When we get the compressed bales, you know, we'll be able to use a lot more. So, yeah, there's the first pile. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so hopefully it'll get wetter. But I will check it tomorrow just in case it doesn't rain. The good thing is with our soil, it can't really get too wet for too long because it doesn't really pool up over here anyway, even when it monsoons. And even if it did, it would be gone in a short amount of time because of the sandy soil. So the other thing was, we know where this manure came from. It was a friend of ours, so we know what his animals eat. And Andrea said that once we get the first pile done, that we will get it tested to make sure that it doesn't have any bad chemicals in it, and if the nutrients and all that is okay. Clemson University is the agricultural school in South Carolina, so they're the ones that do all the soil testing. So Andrea said we could do a soil testing with compost, so I guess we'll see how that goes. So anyway, I call that a little success. The only thing that was annoying is the stupid gnats, which are supposed to be attracted to this type of stuff, ends up get attracted to me instead, which is not fun, but I can deal with it. But yeah, first pile done. I'm estimating we'll get, depending on how big these are, and if that's actually about 24 cubic feet, we're going to end up with about 8 to 10 piles total of this size. And then we'll see what the actual compost ratio is, because if that's 24 cubic feet, I'm curious if the compost degrades it down further or if it doesn't. But I was looking as I was scooping in here, there's already wood chips and other stuff that's in here, the bedding that from the animal pens and all that. So there was already a little bit of brown in here. It just had not been activated yet because it was just dumped in a field. So like I said, it's older manure, but it's still good. So now hopefully with it getting activated, that it'll be able to work good. So that's my hope at least. So I'm going to come out tomorrow and check it with our compost thermometer that Andrea got like a year and a half ago and we haven't used yet. But now we have a reason to use it. Okay, it is the next day and we got our compost thermometer. This is the first time we actually used it. And I don't know how well that is, but it's about 110 degrees in the compost right now. So it's not up to the 130, but it's up obviously a lot higher than ambient temperature, which is about 65 degrees right now. So it is working, which is making me happy. The crows are not happy right now, but it's supposed to maybe rain today, so that'll get it even wetter, which will probably be good, because I soaked this thing with I don't know how much water yesterday, but it was a lot. And so I'll check again tomorrow, see what the temperature is. Then as soon as it hits at least 130 for 3 days, then I'll take this pile, move it over there, and then start a new one and continue again. Okay, day 2, and we are above 130. I would say, if we can see it here, between 130 and 140 degrees, so we're within the zone. So it did rain a little more than a ½ inch last night, so this got a little extra moisture on it. So now we got to wait 3 days. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is, assuming it's not going to rain, then we will turn this and then create a new pile. And as you can see over here, we got plenty left. So I'm excited. This is actually working. This is the first time I've ever successfully done compost, at least so far. So I'm excited. And as you can see here, it's a nice, nasty day today. So we're going to be doing composting in the middle of our garlic harvesting, which is going to start pretty soon. So day 2, above 130 degrees. So I am excited. Okay, this is Friday, and temperature today is, see if I can get it, looks like it's about 145, so it's still within the sweet spot temperature wise. So if we can continue it today or tomorrow, then Sunday we can turn it. And I don't know if I'm imagining things or not, but it looks like I can see a little heat thing coming off the compost pile at the top. But that's probably just me imagining. The crows are not having a good time right now, but that's fine. So composting is still good. Andre and I had to go to a friend of ours' graduation last night, and good old South Carolina isolated rain. It was perfectly fine where we were, but I looked at the radar and we got almost an inch of rain yesterday. So between yesterday and the day before, we ended up with about 1.5 inches of rain. So I'm really happy about that. So I just mentioned that because that's more water to put onto the compost pile. So it should be nice and moist inside. So 2 more days and then we will turn this and then create a new pile. Alright, today's Saturday and it looks like we're topping out. See if I can get this here. Come on. I don't think it wants to focus on that, but we're topping out at about 145. So that's good. That's right in the middle of the sweet spot because you want it between 130 and 160. So I'll take 145. And so I don't think I've shown it yet. Let me take this out. All right, this is how long this thing is. So I think it's 18 or 20 inches or something. So it's something that goes in pretty good. So tomorrow we're going to turn this pile and make a new pile right here for it. And then we're going to grab the next load of crap and hay. Then we're going to make a new pile. And then we'll just keep going down the line. So it'll be 3 full days tomorrow. That'll be above 130, so then we can turn it. Okay, today's the big day. Today is Sunday. And so this thing, I don't know if we can be able to show it or not, but it's sitting right at about 140. So it's been at least 3 full days of it being above 130 and below 160. So I call that good. In that time, we've had about 1.5 inches of rain. It's also a little cooler today. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna grab the tractor and I'm gonna move this entire pile and I'm gonna put it over here. And then we're going to make a new pile and stick right here and start the process over again. Now this time, Andrea is going to help me. So while I'm doing all the tractor stuff, she's going to be in the back over here where the hose is. And she's going to be watering everything as I move it. Because when I did it the first time, I would put a layer of manure on, wet it, put a layer of straw on or hay on, wet it. Then I would turn the tractor on, put a scoop on, then turn the tractor off, wet it, then put more hay on, wet it, and then on and on and on, and then we ended up with this. And that took forever. So I'm hoping with Andrea over here, this can go by a lot quicker. So let's wait for her and then let's let the festivities begin. Alright, as you can see, it doesn't look a whole lot different than what it was. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to keep scooping and putting over here, And then while that happens, Andrea is going to be wetting. We know that it's working because it's getting hot. So now we just got to turn it and just keep going with it. Alright, let's see if I can get this. Trying to do this with one hand. Alright. So now we have visual proof that it's been up to temperature because it's smoking. So we got the smoking pieces here and the smoking pieces over there. So trying to do this with one hand is kind of interesting. But I just wanted to show that yeah, the center of this thing was actually smoking. Okay, the pile is moved. There's the old spot. There's the new spot. Andrea thoroughly wet the new pile, so it should be nice and moist. And so we'll check it tomorrow and see what the temperature is. I'm hoping, since it was already hot to begin with, that it won't take 2 days for it to get hot, but we shall see. If it does take 2 days, that'll be great because it'll be in line with what this one was over here. But if it's less than that, then we'll have to turn that quicker, which will get interesting. And so now we're going to grab hay, which is over there, and then we're going to start in on the new pile. So let's do that and then we'll come. Okay, new pile is done. The fact that Andrea was able to help me with this took significantly less time. I think it took me, when I did it by myself on the first pile, I think it took longer than moving that pile and making this pile today because Andrea was here. So that makes me very happy. We're able to get it done a lot quicker. We kind of moved the new pile a little closer to the original. So then when we move that one, we can put the new, when we flip that one, hopefully they can get closer because we're kind of concerned that when we get up there, we might run out of space, but that's a future us problem. And the other thing I wanted to say real quick, the reason why I wanted to put it here is that we have the piles here, then we have the carport there. Then Andrea claims she does not want to be in the video, but she keeps wanting to be in the video. Then we have the garden over there, and then we turn around and we have down here. And the reason why we have it where it is that that is the lowest spot right there. So when it rains, the water goes there. But this whole area is lower than everywhere else. So when it's flooded before, when we get our monsoons, a little mini river is right here, right in front of the carport area. And it goes down this way to the corner right there. But this area is higher, so that area never gets flooded from this water. So one thing that we were trying to be considerate of is we have our manure and our compost, and then we have our garden not too far away, but the garden is higher in elevation than the manure and the compost. So we've gotten, I think, 15 inches of rain in 15 hours is the most we've gotten since we've been here. And the area where the garden is never flooded yet. So I call that good. And one of my long-term projects is to make the drainage a lot better down here. So hopefully when the water gets down here, it won't be nearly as bad. So anyway, that's just a little side note of why the compost is where it is. the future, if we do this in the future, we'll probably put the manure pile a little further back, give us a little more breathing room. But that's the way it is right now. So anyway, oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention is when I was scooping out the middle of the manure pile, if you look at it, it has brown in it because it has the stable bedding and everything in it. So it had enough brown in it and enough moisture that it was actually smoking. Some of it was actually smoking when I was turning it over. So it was already warm. And there was a big piece of wood that was in there. And when I grabbed it to take it out, it was actually kind of hot. So I don't know what the temperature is, but hopefully it might cause this to gain to 130 a little quicker, but we shall see tomorrow. But that's it for right now. When we get to the point where we have our finished compost and then we have our entire line of compost, I'll come back, do another video. But I just wanted to show our process, and for once we're actually working and we're actually starting to make compost.